Hello, beautiful, magical people. I'm Linda West, and this is my channel, Morning Mayan. I wanted to continue today with my lessons on how to deal with dark energy and the dark arts. So initially, I was addressing everyday muggle situations you would run into with bad coworkers or people in your family not being kind to you, or bullies at school, or bullies anywhere that you might run into that make you feel bad about yourself, that make you feel less than. These kind of people I recommended just get away from as quickly as possible. Always, if in doubt, if you feel a low frequency, the best thing you can do is get away from it, right? Because fighting should be the last resort. And let's remember, if you're in true physical danger, 911 is the magical ministry of police here in the Muggle world. Call them immediately. Get away from any physical danger. But moving on, let's move on to interdimensional entities, ghosts, aliens, and paranormal things like aliens and ETs and the Illuminati working with possibly, somebody wanted to know, what do we do about electrical energy weapons being used against us? Okay, so let's address these other kind of entities that aren't just normal human people being jerky to you, okay? Let's address other beings in other dimensions that might be trying to hurt you. Okay, this is very, very important. Never, ever forget it. Tell everybody you know, and never believe the lies that you were told again. You are mostly magic. And I'm going to give this to you quantum physically. There's this well-known wizard who happened to be one of the top of the Muggle world called Einstein. And he was fabulous at this thing called science. In fact, he is considered maybe one of the best ever, okay? Einstein said that we could study all the bits, the smallest, tiniest bits of matter. We could study it with science. Science, we could look at these tiny, tiny aspects, smaller than atoms and electrons that we can't even see with the naked eye. Smaller things we could even see under microscopes now. Okay, that's matter. Matter, elementary lesson here, matter consists of things that are physical. I'm matter, Diagon Alley's matter, this fabulous wand is matter, but other things matter also. For instance, feelings and events also translate into energy that is separate from the whole, which is, getting back to, so Einstein said we could study all these little aspects of matter. That's what science does, it studies matter. But he said that only made up 0.1% of the entire universe. He said the other 99.99% of the universe was made up of this benevolent force, which he thought was maybe what we know of as God. So let's take this Muggle genius, Einstein, and apply this theory we just learned. If we truly, the smoke and mirrors illusion here in the third dimension are just 1%, 0.1% matter, that means that 99.99% of us is magical and part of God. That's why we hear that we're children of the divine force. We're children of God. We're meant to inherit the kingdom of heaven. We're not supposed to be living in this low vibrational stuff. We're supposed to change it as part of the living force. They even named it the God principle now. Okay, this is a very big concept to settle into. But when you do understand that you're mostly the miracle force, then you'll start to realize that there's certain things under your control that you didn't think were under your control. Because things like aging and illness, none of that is happening in the space, folks. And you're 99.99% the space. And in fact, the atoms in your body currently are 1 billion years old. When you're born, do you know you came from stardust? You're truly magical in so many ways. And that stardust that's come, I don't know, trillions of years, billions for certain, that's what you are made up of. The little part of matter that you are is also made up of stardust, which is magical. So, don't ever fall into the illusion that just because you can't see things materialize right away in your life, that there's not more magic going on than you know. So let's move on to dealing with the bad guys. Okay, so with this concept of knowing that we're mostly the force that is what people call God, or different religions might refer to it with a different name, but it's this benevolent, loving force upon which you can call for miracles, the Christ energy, or I don't know anything that's comparable in other religions, but in any case, knowing that everything, not only on the earth, but everything in the universe is made up of this 90.99% of everything, that means that everything else is also God, or mostly this loving, godlike force. So it's the same for everything. In any universe, in any dimension, there's only so much matter compared to the space, because the matter is really just free souls or perspectives of God doing little creations for God, making mountains, doing this. It's all about creating. So when you run against bad energy, like energy electronical weapon, you just have to remember it really has no power over you, because you're 99.99% God, and moreover, so are they. So if somebody's giving you a tough time, or you're feeling that you're being addressed by a dark energy, a truly demonic energy, then tell them you love them. Remind them you're part of God. You need to let this go, because usually they just forgot, which is really very interesting. As I move into these lessons about the dark arts, you'll, like, defense against the dark arts, you'll start to realize that one of the things they all have in common is that somebody along the way was horribly mistreated, and then what occurred from that was a break from their godliness, their hero, their heart, their ability to have friends, their ability to have love, their ability to have joy has been broken, and they're cleaving to the only thing left, or what they feel is the only thing left. So help them with the illusion. Help them with the illusion. Be the light. Be the light. So I wanted to end today about talking about ghosts. So ghosts are one of the things I deal with more often than I'd personally like to, because I have a very strong light and I'm a channel. So I write books on manifesting near-death experience as a child. I've always been able to be clairaudient, so I can hear things on the other side. So they kind of see me as an open phone booth, they're like, oh my God, all right, I can get a call in, I need to like connect. So I wanted to give you a clue after I've dealt with many ghosts in many places. It's always the same thing. First of all, no matter how scary it looks, and I'm not talking about poltergeist now that's maybe like really attacking somebody or something, that's gonna have to be another video. But I'm talking about just ghosts, like in Harry Potter, they weren't malefic at all. They were friendly, actually. They were just hanging around. They were connected. They were really, what I'm about to tell you, unable to leave the material world because of their disbelief. So what happens with every time you run into an energy and you're feeling, ooh, this feels weird here, is there some ghostly energy, or say you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel that a pressure next to you or something, or a weird chill in the air or something where you're like, oh, I'm getting a really creepy vibe here, okay? All you have to say Now you can do your version of this because it's really the intention of it. But I like to use Christ because I'm a Christian. So I always say immediately, in the name of Christ Jesus, I command all low frequencies to leave. In the name of Christ Jesus, I command all low frequencies to leave my body, my home, this neighborhood, and go back to the divine source. So you can say that how you want to say that. And then after that, I always conclude with, in the name of Christ Jesus, I want to call in all the highest frequencies into my body, into my room, into my home, and into my neighborhood. Please protect me. So then I go back to sleep because I don't want to connect with ghosts or beings, even if they need my help in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. And that's my prerogative because I'm the one that's doing the helping out. So I don't like to do it in the middle of the night. It creeps me out. Come talk to me in the daytime. So that said, say I walk into a place and I identify right away that it's haunted, which happens all the time. My girlfriends will try and take me to a hotel and I'll walk in and I'll look at them and I'll be like, this place is haunted, right? And they'll be like, no, no, no. I had this happen recently is why I'm recounting this. And the girl behind the desk goes, oh yeah, it's haunted, all right. It's the number 100th haunted hotel in all of America. And I was like, yeah, okay, I felt it. As soon as I walked in, she's like, don't worry, only one gruesome death happened in room 17. I'm like, pretty sure that's the room you put us in. She's like, oh, let me see, we are booked up and you are in, yeah, you're in 17. I'm like, yeah, no, not tonight. No ghost busting tonight. I'm on vacation with my girlfriend. So, unlike getting back to like the Sixth Sense when he was like, I see dead people, I choose not to see dead people. I will communicate with souls that have passed if people really need clearing on, like something happened and they didn't get to say something to somebody. I will do that because it's a heavenly, soulful thing, and I'll do it out of service to God and to the souls involved. But like, no way I want to be hanging out seeing dead people. So one of the things I do, and you can do also, is put boundaries. Not only in the third dimension, you want to stop people treating you horrible in the third dimension, put up a boundary. Like, I don't let people talk to me like this, and if they do, I leave. And in the other worldly dimensions, and same thing, I set the boundaries. You want to talk to me? Come during the day. You want to connect with me and you're on the other side, don't show me some bloody picture of yourself. I'm not going to be part of that. So I don't get those kind of images. What I will get is information, and I'll hear things so that the people involved know that it's, truly they're deceased or the person that they need to connect to. Moving on though, because I don't like to do that. That's not what I choose to do. It's just I get called to it sometimes as being part of my soul work. But moving on to, you run into a ghost. This is what you do for every single ghost, every single one. They're all the same. Don't let anyone scare you. The movies scare you. They're all the same. Every ghost you run into is a stuck being. In the Catholic Church, they used to call that purgatory. And what it is they are coming to you because they need help. And here's what's up. They're stuck between worlds. They're stuck at either a place they're comfortable with, a home, or like at Hogwarts, you saw a bunch of ghosts that lived and loved there, so they stayed there because that's what they knew and loved. Sometimes it'll be ghosts that hang around people or don't want to leave their family because they're concerned for them out of benevolence and love, so they're holding on. Sometimes, very often, it's because people don't have any belief that there's another place to go. They think they're just gone, it's over, it's dead. They don't understand that death is like waking up out of a dream, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, Earth was the coolest dream ever. And then you wonder why you didn't have more fun and why you stressed out. Anyway, the bottom line is these souls are stuck and they need to be encouraged by a human because they don't believe in the other side. They don't believe in that. So they need a human to tell them to let go and go to the other side. Because what they're in is the worst possible thing. They're not a body and they're not a free spirit. They're stuck, they're caged. And so, I take it as very soul work when I do help ghosts. And so, yeah, it can feel a little creepy initially. Just remember, if you're hearing this being or they're coming to you, it's because they see the light in you and they want help. And even the darkest beings, like even the darkest beings, even the Malfoys in Harry Potter, right? Their hearts were softened by their love for each other. Narcissus saved Harry because she loved Draco so much. And in the end, it's all about love. And these beings are stuck, so try and not be afraid and try and just talk them over and be like, you gotta go, man. You're really in a bad place here. Just trust me on this one. Let go to the light. You're gonna be better off. And have a conversation with them just like you would a human. In fact, that's how you communicate telekinetically with any entity or being. It's a mental thing. It's a mental conversation. It's usually sometimes comes down in like a complete triangle of information, like that you have to unwind, kind of like a program. At least that's how it comes for me. And it doesn't come linear like our world, like how we have agreed to read. It comes more like it's the whole conversation, and then you kind of have to backtrack and listen to it. But just remember, if you're thinking, hey, I think some ghost is talking to me, they are. And if you think, hey, I think that bird over there is my mom talking to me, trying to send a signal, it is. If all of a sudden out of the blue you think, hey, I wonder if this is a sign from, somebody I love, like, that's crossed, it is. The minute you think, is this a sign? It is a sign. It is them communicating with you. Just don't doubt that. Too many people doubt the magic. So, this is going to be a long video, but I hope this helped a little bit lessen the fear around the dark side, because they're us too. They're mostly God too. So it's really just about reminding them. And if you can remind them in their physical form, like in their earthly form, like, hey, you're being an evil person, hug them. Sometimes just hugging people is what you need to do, because going on the mental realm, people will block it. But if you, especially if it's in your family or someone close to you, hug them if you're not getting along. Like, let them feel your heart. Just feel your way back to the love. And yeah, anyway, I'd like to know, have you encountered ghosts or entities from the other side? Do you think there's dark forces we need to be fighting on Earth? What do you use in your own personal defense against the arts arsenal? I'm going to talk a little bit, I have one more coming up, and that's about the dark thoughts in your head, which are maybe the worst of the dark arts, but that's going to be for the next one. Anyway, if you like these kind of videos, please let me know. If you like Harry Potter and want to see more of those videos, please let me know. I have a new advanced manifesting book coming out, so if you're thinking, I kind of get where she's talking about, but I don't really know about the law of attraction. Well, I have lots of books and videos on that, and my newest one is the master's class, and I'm just guessing if you're watching this now, you already qualify. So that's coming out next week. I'm super excited, and I'm super excited to have shared this time with you. I'm wishing you a wonderful, fabulous, high-frequency day, and keep the magic alive. Bye-bye.